everyone, and welcome to PositiveMindset.tv, where each week we delve into the mindsets and see how they create our experiences, from our finances, our careers, our children, our health, and our relationships. Hi, my name is Lisa Myers, and I am so thrilled to have you here with us today. Today we have a special guest. It is Appio Hunter, and he talks about reclaiming your passion. So Appio Hunter is an author, speaker, presentation designer, wellness advocate, certified infinite possibilities trainer, and a happiness coach. He is also the author of the upcoming book, Reclaim Your Passion for Life, Thoughts on How to Be Happy and Master the Art of Living. Appio spent over 20 years working in the corporate world, and although he had a successful career, he felt trapped and unable to escape to pursue his true passion of writing, speaking, and doing creative and personally fulfilling work. His feelings were exacerbated by a lifelong struggle with chronic depression and thoughts of suicide. Appio eventually realized that he had the power to overcome any adversity, and over time he managed to reconnect to his inner joy. He now works as a freelance presentation designer, and he coaches others on how to reclaim their passion for life and master the art of living happy. Hi there. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. People talk about Mondays being, awful days. For me, Mondays are the best day of the week because I just come off a weekend. I'm relaxed. I'm, just starting brand new and refreshed. So for me, Mondays are awesome.
Yes. I met Appio at a writing group that we both joined and both are part of. And your writing is incredible, but also we had the opportunity to attend National Speakers Association in our Mountain West division. And one of the friends looked at Appio and said, "You are always so happy." And it's very interesting from what your biography said was that you really suffered from a lot of depression. So tell us a little bit of who Appio is and where the origin of your name came from as well.
Okay, well, I guess we'll start with the origin of my name. That actually dates back to the Roman Empire. My mom is from Brazil originally, and she was fascinated with history, especially that of the Roman Empire. So she named me after the builder of the Appian Way. So my full name is actually Appio Claudius. And the Hunter, well, that dates back. That goes to the Scottish side of the family. So that's where my name actually comes from. One of my nicknames, funny you should mention, me being cheerful all the time, it happens to be Happy Appio. And that's followed me around no matter where I've gone. As far as suffering from depression, truthfully, it's kind of strange. If somebody is cheerful, as upbeat, and as positive as I am most of the time, can suffer from depression. But in fact, that's always been the case. If anything, I find that my naturally upbeat disposition was a counterbalance to that depression that was always there, always under the surface. And I've been through lots of therapy. I've gone on many different medications, but ultimately I found that the best therapy, the best medication that I could possibly encounter to maintain that positive mindset comes from within.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why I love, having you here and, being on PositiveMindset.tv, because truly, the mind is creating that life that we're leading, and so we're really in synchronicity with a lot of what we talk about. So you actually have two passions that you love, and what is that?
First passion would be presentation design, and the other passion would be helping others be happy as well. The two seem totally disconnected to each other, but in reality I find that there is a link between them. First of all, when I'm doing presentation design, I'm doing something that's very creative, something that engages my natural curiosity, something that I'm doing to help somebody else, especially somebody who might be a presenter, somebody who may speak in front of audiences, or somebody who might be even in sales or whatever. By taking a tool, a very useful tool, whether it's PowerPoint or Keynote, and designing it in a way that it complements the presenter, it complements the speaker, I find that I'm doing something to help them look better. Simultaneously, when I'm coaching somebody to be happy, again, I'm helping them to be better. So for me, the link is, first of all, being creative, secondly, helping others, third, being of service to others. So that's how, for me, the two are linked to each other. And frequently, when I'm working with customers designing presentations for them, they usually ask me, are you usually this positive? Are you usually this upbeat? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And that usually leads to the discussion about what I do for where I wear my other hat, which is the happiness coaching. So yeah, they are linked, even though they seem totally apart. For me, they're just things I absolutely love. My big thing when I went to work for myself, when I became self-employed, was my non-negotiable is that I wanted to do creative, rewarding, fulfilling work. And that's exactly what I'm doing.
Isn't it incredible when we really do set our mind to what it is that we want to create, that it happens, that we can actually, that we do have the tools, that we do have the energy and the resources to create what it is that we want to create. So with that, and when you were talking about that, helping people with their presentations, as well as, then helping people, with themselves, in truth, they are both the same thing. Whether they're presenting to an audience or whether they're presenting in the relationships, how they are. So I could see them both perfectly connected.
Yes. And that connection for me is what drives me forward. Again, and all of it is linked to that passion to be of service, to really do things that are going to help me to connect to others, because that for me is my biggest thing, is being able to connect to people. So yeah, absolutely, I completely agree with you.
So when somebody comes to work with you and they're feeling depressed, they're feeling stuck, they're not being able to move, what can they expect, and what are some of the tools maybe that you can help them in life? And maybe share a couple with the audience.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Usually when I meet somebody for the first time, we really just sit down and we get to know each other. I like to get to know who I'm talking to, who I'm working with. I want them to get to know me as well. I like to create a connection so that we have a common ground from which we can actually work. Usually when people understand that, yes, I have a background with depression. I struggled with depression my entire life. They'll know that they're speaking to somebody who has been there, who has lived it, who has gone through the process of, even now, periodically having those down days where I struggle. And keeping a positive mindset can be exceptionally challenging. So once that connection is established, we then go to the next step, which is identifying areas of their life where they would like to see an improvement. For me, I don't like to focus on what's going wrong. I like to take the path of what's going right and then show my clients how they can always focus on what's right in their lives versus what's wrong in their lives. Because there's a saying out there, it's been said many, many different ways, but what you focus on expands. Mm-hmm. I just was trying to think of another way of saying it, but that is the one that comes to mind frequently, is whatever it is that you focus on is what's going to end up coming into your life. It's going to be what you create, because inevitably you'll end up doing something, saying something, acting in such a way that's going to reinforce that predominant belief.
Absolutely.
So, and then that's another thing that we focus on as well, is the beliefs and thoughts, and learning how to install new beliefs. and new thoughts.
So what are maybe some tools? I mean, what are the principles of being happy? A lot of times it's, when I have this, when I have the right job, or when I'm in the right relationship, or when I have enough money, I'll be happy. So what is the fundamental principle of happiness?
For me, it starts off with focusing on what you have right now. Sure, a better job, more money, a rewarding relationship, or a very deeply connected, loving relationship are all good things. But you don't have to wait until the future, until you have those things, in order to be happy right now. So first and foremost, to me, one of the most important principles to getting onto the happiness train immediately is to find things, pleasing things, that you love right now and that you have right now. And then express gratitude for those. For me, happiness and gratitude are basically two sides of the same coin. Mm-hmm. And when you're able to express one, the other flows naturally. So first, focus on what you have right now. Even if it's something as simple as, say, for instance, my iPhone. I love it. It's great. And if I don't have anything else, I have that. So I'm going to express gratitude for that. And I'm going to be happy about the fact that I actually have it. Afterward, the next important step for me is becoming aware of your beliefs and your thoughts and how they influence your thoughts and how the two are interconnected. And coming to understanding about that. And I usually walk through my clients through a number of different exercises and how they can become aware of their thoughts and their beliefs, and how they can install new ones and how they can change them around. We use tools like gratitude journals. We use an exercise that I call flip your thought, meaning write down all the negative thoughts that come up at particular moments. It's kind of like a journaling exercise where you just let your thoughts flow out. And then after you finish letting all the negative stuff out, then take the opposite and write it on the opposite side of the page. So literally you flip it around. Take the negative stuff, get rid of it, tear it up, burn it, whatever, and then keep your list of the positive thoughts that you just created by looking at the negative ones. So, those are the fundamentals that I work with. Going from there, one of the big things for me is being able to forgive yourself. Self-forgiveness to me is critical for being able to maintain that positive mindset, that happiness that comes from within, that joy for life, that passion for life. Because when you forgive yourself for being human, you're able to understand that, it's okay if things go wrong. It's okay if I screw up. Because guess what? Every day is a new day. I can start over again. And I can just keep right on going and putting one foot in front of the other.
Wonderful. And like I said, we met each other at the community writing group that we're involved in. And so you have a book that's coming out, and it's called Reclaim Your Passion for Life, Thoughts on How to Be Happy and Master the Art of Living. So when can we expect that?
That is actually due out in November.
Wonderful.
So the exact date has not been set yet, but we are targeting November for a release. So
are you going to share some of your, like a little excerpt so we can get on your mailing list, so we'll know exactly when the due date is?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, if watchers or listeners go to my webpage, reflectionsonreality.com, they can sign up for my mailing list. And many of my daily reflections, actually they're more like weekly reflections right now. So my reflections that I put onto my blog and onto my Facebook page and so forth, many of those are actually going to be shared in my book. So these are reflections based off of, what can we do to maintain a positive mindset? What we can do, what simple little things we can do to be happy. I focus on several the fundamentals. So basically, I focus on beliefs, thoughts, expressing gratitude, focusing on what you have, forgiving yourself, raising your expectations, and laughter. Simple things that you can do to laugh every single day. And then there are exercises. For instance, I call one exercise that I call the laughter cure. There's one that I call your beliefs funeral. Another one, radical forgiveness. And another one, just simply raising your expectations. So those are all going to be included in the book as well. So in addition to advice, simple little exercises that you can implement every single day.
Wonderful. So again, everyone, go to Appio's website, which is reflectionsonreality.com, and we'll have that posted. And sign up for Appio's newsletter so that you can get those weekly reflections. And you're also offering a class called Living a Happy, Passionate Life, Emotional Wellness Tools for Everyday Living. And this they can get online as well as locally. And when will that be starting?
The next class is going to be starting the week after, it's going to be the first week of September, so the week after Labor Day. Well, the information regarding the 4 different modules that make up the class is already posted on my website. So they can go to reflectionsonreality.com, click on the workshops tab, and the details regarding the class itself are posted there. Since I just finalized the dates for the class, the upcoming live classes in September, both in person and online, those will be posted on my website soon, within the next couple of days or so. Since the website is currently undergoing a revamp, some stuff had to be taken down while we're updating the site.
Great.
But it is there, and the dates. And also, one other thing I should mention: if anybody has any questions at all, they can always click on the Contact Me tab on my website and just send me an email, and I'll be happy to respond with the information.
Perfect. So again, go to Reflections on Reality, and like we both shared, our thoughts truly are creating our experiences in our lives. And so if you are struggling with happiness, with your passion, check out Appio at reflectionsonreality.com and just see what's going on with the trainings that Appio has, his book coming out, and sign up for his weekly reflections and newsletters. And again, I just want to thank you, Appio, for taking your time to being with us today.
Oh, thank you, Lisa. It was such a pleasure to be with you.
And again, if there's, everyone, if you've heard something that you like, please share it on Google+, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. And again, until next week, the world is a better place with you being in it. Thank you.